to Flosstube number 25. You are very welcome. My name is Hanneke and I use this channel to show you about my cross stitch. And I have a lot today. So we have basically everything. I've got fully finishes, I have finishes, new starts, I have progress. I went to second-hand shops and found amazing things. And I have amazing Stitchy kindness that I found this morning. So I have, it's a mess around me basically. And I've just been on holiday. I came back this morning very early. So I will share a little bit on that as well. So we have everything today. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you're new here, I hope you enjoy what you see. If you are a recurring viewer, then thank you very much for tuning in yet again. And I do appreciate that. I've quite a few of you that pop up in the comment section regularly, and I really enjoy that. So thank you. Right, the stitching. Well, let's start with my cup, because I do show a cup every Flosstube. So this is Royal Albert. As you can see, I love Royal Albert, but I also collect cups from different, how do you call this? Different lines, different versions. So this is Rosedale series, Evesham. So there are plenty more. I don't have any others in the series. But I hope to find them one day. This one's very pretty. So it's yellow with pretty roses. I just have water today because I was not in the mood for tea. It's actually quite warm as well today. So anyway, it is autumn. So I made a little autumn pillow. I showed you last time a chart that I wanted to stitch bits of and make 3 little pillows. I've only made 1. I haven't got around to the other 3 yet, but I do enjoy this one. So this is a lovely little pillow that I made with a sewing machine that I received from one of you, which was very kind. I still use it. It's perfect for my needs. So this is only the little pumpkin. Is it a barrel wagon? And my backs are not pretty. I just put an extra piece of fabric over the hole, basically. I cut a hole in the back. But that's okay. I do like the fabric. I think the fabric goes very, very well with this little stitch. The word autumn is one that I found somewhere and I just stitched it. So this is from the pattern and this is just something extra that I put there. I really like this one. Very happy with that. So that's my first fully finish. And it's a small one, really. This one is easily done, but it is very cute. And I like having a few pillows here and there. Cute. So another fully finish is my magic needle. So last time I showed you, I don't think I've shown you this completely finished yet. I think I had it in the frame at that point, asking you if you liked it. And I have now fully finished it. And it is in the frame. If I've already shown you this, I'm sorry, I'm not sure at the moment. But anyway, it's worth another view, isn't it? It's very lovely. I'm very happy with this one. So fully finished into this frame. I can't take it out anymore because I glued it in at the back. But yeah, I don't mind. I've no wish to take it out at all. Very pretty. The colours are absolutely lovely. I stitched it on white rather than the yellow that they suggest and that they have in the kit. I chose a white and I'm still very happy with that choice. It's very pretty. So this one is happily displayed in my living room. Then let's move on to my finishes. because before I went on holiday, I stitched quite a few things onto a finish because I was in the mood for that. I normally have the white board that I use to show things. I've used that for my magic needle thing. So I'm going to use my DMC color charts instead to show you things because I've got nothing else. So my first finish was also a new start. A colleague of mine said, could you stitch this for me so I can give it away to a friend of mine? And I said, of course I can. So I did. And this is another thing I started and don't want to continue with, so please don't look at that. But this is the piece that I stitched for her. I think her friend is due in December. And so in December I will add the name of the child and the date of birth. But she wanted me to stitch this. It's very different from what I normally stitch. It was a quick one as well. I stitched it in one morning. The body is basically half stitches in grey and then back stitch in black. And the hair is full cross in grey and then back stitching in black. And I stitched it, I think, on 16 or 18 count. And it is very pretty. Again, it's not my normal style because it's so much backstitch. But it is, I did enjoy it actually. I didn't mind the backstitch. And as everyone always says, when you're backstitching it, it comes to life and that's great fun. So I did enjoy that. So this is a new start, but also a finish, and this is requested by a colleague. She was very happy with it, so nice to know. Then I finished my, I forgot the name again of this. It's by, what are they called again? InkCircles, by InkCircles. I used the 121 DMC, and this is how it turned out. Now, you always see it a little bit darker, this one, than it actually is. And this is stitched on, I think, 20 count with one strand of floss. And I enjoyed this little pattern. It is repetitive because you do the same thing 4 times. And if I would do it again, I don't think I would go with a variegated or multicolor thread. I would probably go with one color. But it is pretty, isn't it? I have no idea what to do with it. I have no idea whether I want to make another one and then into a Visco Nu, or whether I want to make this into a regular pillow. So I don't know yet. It was quite a quick stitch. I think it's 73 by 73. So it's one of the smaller InkCircles. They also have way bigger. And I also like their pieces. I think it's a forest from Zag and a garden from Zig or something. I like that as well. I might make those one day. But this is what I made for now. And again, don't know yet how to fully finish it. Oh, I've forgotten the fully finish actually. It's over there on my couch. I might grab it. It's a very old one that I finally fully finished. So I will just pause for a second and then I'll come back. Me again? Right, so when I just started stitching again after quite a long break, I started with the Cliffsidestitches piece, a Peacock Sampler, and that's on Etsy, if you're interested in that. And I stitched that with almost all the called for colors. I just changed the purple to a pink. And for a long time, I had no idea what to do with it. I really like it. I think it's very pretty, but it doesn't go with the colors in my house. And I didn't really feel like framing it. It's quite a big piece as well, so you need quite a big frame. So I didn't know what to do with it. And then I thought, at the beginning of my holiday, just over a week ago, I thought, why don't I make it into a book sleeve? Because I use my book sleeves almost every day. So that's what I did. There you go. So this was quite a bit of stitching, and this was one of the first big pieces I made, and I loved it. And at the time I was mainly stitching on one piece at the time. So things have changed since then. But yeah, Cliffsidestitches has beautiful pieces, but this one I find incredibly striking. I think it's the colors that she chose for this one, but also the pattern just speaks to me. And then I have the back, very basic, just a pretty color, and then the inside is part green and part blue, so that it suits this. Now, I did do something wrong, because I'd stitched the whole thing, I was turning it around, and suddenly I thought, I hope it's the right way up. And it isn't. It should have been like the right way up, like this. So that went wrong. But I didn't wanna take it out. I thought it's fine. I don't mind it. I can just put it on the table like this. And I use this for my I usually have a book and a notebook because I write my prayers. So I put all of that in a sleeve like this, and then I go somewhere, I go to some place to have a cup of coffee or something, and then I read a chapter and then I write my prayers. And I can use this for it. So I'm very happy with this because this has been in a box for quite a long time, just sort of stashed away, and that didn't feel right because it is an absolutely beautiful piece. And again, the pink was a substitute. I think it was a 3804 that I went with at the time. So very happy with that fully finished. That was a long time coming. Now the next one is a finish. That was also coming. And I washed it as well because it was dirty, because this one I had taken with me on quite a few travels, and I could see that. This is Rood Thrift Schwarz by EvasDesigns, and it is finished. Isn't that pretty? I'm very pleased with how it's turned out, and I have genuinely enjoyed every day stitching this. Oh, is there something on it? Yes, there is. Sorry about that. I have no idea what to do with this one. These are not my colors. I don't know what to do with it. But like with the other one, I figured it out after over a year. So I think it's almost 2 years, but that's okay. So this is probably going to go into the box now, and we'll see. But it is very, very pretty, and it was a joy to stitch. And this is from EvasDesigns, and that's a German company. I used all the called for DMC, and I stitched it on a 16 count Ada. And it was nice to take with me on train journeys because it's a lot of block stitching, or like those rows of beige. It's just easy to bring along on a train. And the holiday I've just had, I didn't have this piece in the train because this was already finished, so I had to find something else. Isn't that beautiful? I used DMC Black 310. Looking back, I might have wanted Anchor because Anchor covers a little bit better. But yeah, it's not a problem. Pretty, isn't it? I only have a little bit left over because I used a scrap piece for this. Because I knew already then when I started it, this is not my color scheme. So when I started it, I didn't know what to do with it either. So I decided to use a scrap piece for it, even though I had just a little bit left here. So yeah, we'll see. One of you has already said a tray might be nice, and I like that idea. Now I just have to find a tray where this fits into. And this is a 21 by 21, I think, in the end. So yeah, the easiest to find anything for. So that's a finish. I can take it off. Yeah, and I really love it. And again, UB Design has great stuff. So yeah, do have a look. Right, onto my new starts. And I've quite a few, I'll be honest with you. And that's because it is autumn and I went to the forest. So I went on holiday last Monday or previous Monday. And I went to Aalten, which is in the Achterhoek in the Netherlands. And I will put a map on the screen so you can see where I was. And I did a lot of cycling again, and I was basically at a little house next to a forest. So every morning I would go out into the forest and enjoy all the colors, because the colors are beautiful at this time of year. So I will put in some pictures, if I can, of my travels. And because I was enjoying such beautiful autumn atmosphere and surroundings, I figured I should stitch a few autumny, foresty things. So that's what I did basically. So you will find a few new starts that are focused on autumn and nature. But I had a great time. It was lovely there. Absolutely lovely. I went to if you watch me more often, you know that I go to these fancy houses, estate houses. And this was quite a big one. I don't think it was a castle, but it was a really big one, and it was very well preserved. And it was just over the border into Germany. And I think it was called Anhalt Wasserburg or something like that. And it was absolutely stunning. You couldn't just roam around as I usually prefer. You had to go with a guide, and you had to, I think it was about an hour, you could see certain rooms in the house, but it was so pretty. It was well worth it. And I was not allowed to take any pictures inside, which is a shame because there was so much stitching inside. All the chairs were woven or stitched, all handmade. And then the walls had these massive tapestries, again, hand woven. And I just, I was overwhelmed when I left that place. It was so beautiful. But a shame I couldn't take any pictures. But if you're ever in the neighborhood of Anhalt in Germany, then I can only recommend that place. It was just perfect. So that was my holiday very quickly. I did other things as well. I did a lot of cycling as I do. I went to secondhand shops and found great stuff, which I'll show you later. But let's look at my my new starts. The first one is a Vervaco kit. Now Vervaco is quite a Dutch how do you call this? Designer? Provider? Anyway, I don't think you have this in America or in Australia. Because I usually only see this in the Netherlands. And I really like this one. And you have all three in the kit. So it's a small kit. It's about 21 euros. And you get all three. So I have little pieces of fabric for each. And then I have the threads for each. And I have started with this little pumpkin one. So it's only a tiny one. And I will make these three into pillows because it's the perfect size. It's even a better size than the pillow I already made. So when I found this, I was very pleased indeed. So here we are. That's my start. The bottom pumpkin is done, and I can move on to the green pumpkin. But it's very cute. I could have stitched a little bit to the other side. It's a bit lopsided now, but hey ho. I also got a few new, what are they called? Needle minders. So this is a new one, a teacup. Because why not? Now, isn't that a pretty start? This is stitched on the fabric that comes with the kit, and it's an 18 count Aida. And I'm not sure whether this is ecru or platinum. I don't know. I don't think it's ecru. It seems a little bit too light for ecru. And it's quite a nice color actually. And it suits the autumn colors really, really nicely. So that's what I've started. And it is quite a lot of stitching. So this is not a quick thing or a quick finish. Then the next one I made is a pattern I found on Etsy, and I will put everything in my description box. So I've forgotten the name right now of the person who puts this on Etsy, but I will put it in the description box and you can find it there. And I have started stitching this, so each day I would go out and then come back and stitch a few of the pretty leaves. And then all the black stuff I've done, I did in the train. So that's the first section done. And that's just lovely. It very much suited the beautiful surroundings that I had when I was in Aalten. And this is stitched, I think, on 16 count. And I think it's parchment or something. Oh, this is platinum. Oh, this might be platinum as well. I'm not sure. I found this in my stash. And it was perfect. Very happy with this. Very bright colors with the oranges and the yellows. Very happy piece. Yeah. And all the black, I'm not a fan of black stitching, but it's fine. This is easy and relatively quick stitching. In the leaves, there's a lot of color changes. And not as bad as, for instance, my spring sampler that I haven't done much on, the one that I do on black. And because it's on black, and I'm struggling with the black. But this one is perfect. I really like this. So that was another new start that suited my environment. And then I had ordered, as we have all done, basically, I've seen this everywhere, is the Pigeon Coop book. So I before made a Pigeon Coop piece, and that's this one. And I think it's Flower Swan or something. I don't remember, but this is the one I made before. And I love this piece. It's been in my living room ever since I finished it. I really enjoyed making it. So I figured I could make another one because what I really like is that it is a scenery, but at the same time it has lines and it feels symmetrical. And those of you who've known me for longer know that I like symmetry and lines in things. And this has that. So this one I made before. And now I like a lot from this book, and I'll probably make several of these pieces. Now there was one that I thought I should have started because when I was there was this little woodpecker ticking on my window. So I will either put in a little video or I will put in a picture of that. So I should have started the woodpecker piece that is in here and that I really like as well. So this might be my next one. That's this one, Little Woodpecker. I just have to think about which fabric to use because I'm not sure. I might use a blue one rather than a green background. I don't know. But that one I probably start next because it suits the experiences I had. Every morning the bird was sat there and he was ticking away at the window. Anyway, I have started the very first one in the book because I had the colors in my stash and I really like it. I think it's very pretty. Oh, I was also almost going to show you the pattern, but that's the piece, the Boreal Bounty. And I was stitching on it this morning in the train and I was going so fast and I thought it might be another finish, but it isn't. It's almost another finish. I'm nearly there. So there you go. Let's see, there we are. So that's very pretty with I think 4 or 5 greens and then 2 blues. I think it was the last row of green at the top there. I was thinking, oh, I'm ready for blue now. But it's so pretty. It has such a great result. I've made one change, and that is in this row. The little things that I've left white should have been stitched with the lightest green. I haven't done that because each section basically has pieces that are left white, and I felt it would fit in with the piece if I left that white, so I left that open. And then obviously the sun, you don't stitch the sun or the moon, not sure. And I only have a few rows at the top left. It's nearly finished. So it'll be a finish next time. And I really love the colors. So pretty. So yeah, this book is, I think it is a classic. It's going to be a classic, this one. Very lovely. Quite a few of you did a run through. And I think it was the runner stitcher who in the end made me buy it. So thank you for that. And well done on the marathon. I think that's fantastic. So that one will be a featuring here and there. And this one will probably be a finish next time. And then I can start my woodpecker. And then I started a small one. And that's because I saw it on Etsy and I thought that's very pretty. And I'd seen it before. It's similarly to my art minis, where I see that someone is able to put a lot of detail in a small piece. The same goes for this one, and I don't remember the name. Again, I put it in the description box. But this is bookmarks, and I think they're very pretty. I bought 3 of them, and I started the purple one. And I'll put that on the screen for you to see. It's very bright, very happy little piece. I think it's 27 stitches wide and then 112 long. And these are perfect for my books. And this is my start. Very pretty colors. I'm stitching it on, I think, a 16 count or an 18 count. I'm not sure. And another new needle minder. I buy them in France. I buy them on Etsy, but then they come from France. Very, very lovely. And I enjoyed stitching this. Very bright, naturey. Then I decided, we're moving into my whips now. And I have quite a few whips here. Some are quite new whips. Others are long time whips. And I have been moving along on them with the spoiler. Great progress on Moon Deer. Anyway, this is Petit Carré. And this is by Lynn Pulchon. This is on Etsy. I stitched this on an 18 count DMC Ada. And I decided I wanted to give this a good, I wanted to give this some good attention. Because this one feels like it's nearing a finish. Now I still have a bit to go, obviously. But it is getting there. I stitched the border all the way around, although I still have to fill it in. And I stitched 3 of the squares. So now I have 12 squares to go and a little bit of the border. So that is over 75% now. And this is stunning. Just stunning. It gets better and better as I stitch on it. It's not a piece I stitch on for a very long time because I sometimes get a bit bored of it when I stitch on it for a long time. But I usually do a square and then I stitch something else and I do another square. And the border matching, I did that in the train. Oh, and that was so fun because the lady who checks the tickets came round and she saw my stitching, and she really enjoyed it, and she said, "Oh, I've got stitching as well." So she got out her phone and she showed me the pieces she was working on, which was great. She really had a lovely taste, and she had quite a few on the walls as well. So we had a lovely chat about my stitching and about her stitching, and that was lovely. So there we are on Petit Carré, over 75%. So pretty. So pretty. Now, if you're wondering about the colors, leave me a comment and I'm happy to share my colors. It's pink and brown, and in real life it's brighter. The pink is brighter than it is on the screen. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I have a color finish now because I stitched with the multicolor brown and pink. I think it's 4504, but I'm not entirely sure. But that one's finished now because I only use that on these two borders, on the outside row and on this one. And the rest is all the coordinating colors with that multicolor thread. Moving along. Happy about that. I really love that. I really love that. Right. Then my Abaresque. Now, Abaresque is from Jan Hicks, and I'm loving this piece. I think it's very, very nice. I stitched this on a 20 count with, I think, 814 or 815 threads from DMC, and I use one strand, and I have stitched 4 letters of this piece. This is lovely stitching. It's quite easy stitching. I actually had a bad day at work and I called in sick for the next day, and I stitched this to make myself feel better, and I did. So that was lovely. I have made a mistake, I found out, and that's this one. Well, actually it's this one. The top of the Y should have been 1 stitch to the side, closer to the Z. But I'm quite happy to leave it as it is. But yeah, I've made a tiny mistake. I think it's very classy, this piece. It's very elegant. The letters are lovely. So yeah, happy stitching this. I'm not sure why she's put a sort of a thingy in between every letter except for the X so far. But that I noticed that, but you know. And this is stitched on, is it Nougat or something else? Might be an unnamed color that I have found in my stash. I've bought quite a few at a fair, and yeah, they don't have names on it. They just have little bags around them and then a price normally, and that's about it. But I love this one. I think this is a lovely, lovely piece, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it, stitching it so far. Quite a bit to go, but it does go quite quickly. It's not a piece that takes you a really long time. I've considered taking this one with me in the train, because it is one color, but because it's stitched on 20 count, I decided not to, because that's too much in a train. The next one is one by Bothy Threads. So this is my only 14 count because I use their fabric because it has a little thingy in there that I like, because that's part of the Bothy thread thing. And I have stitched 1 mushroom. There we go. That's the first mushroom. It's very pretty. Very pretty. I have stitched from Bothy Threads the mouse with a little piece of thread holding a needle. And I love that one, and it's in my bedroom, and I think it's perfect. So I really love Bothy Threads as the image. Stitching it is different. It's not my favorite, but I do like the outcome. Yeah, it's very, very pretty. So onwards to the next mushroom. And then, and I think I stitched this in just over a morning, so it's not that much. And it has a lovely result. It has lovely depth, doesn't it? With the reds like that. When I went to the forest, I looked around for these kinds of mushrooms and I couldn't find them. I found the other ones, more beige color-like, but never the red ones with the dots. And I think those are the prettiest. So yeah, that's that one. And again, I'm using the kit fabric and the kit floss. So I'm just using the full kit. The next one is by Owl Forest Embroidery. And I am using the threads that were gifted to me, which was the kindest gift and the most beautiful threads. And I think it was, I've forgotten now, I will put that on the screen. There are so many different kinds now, aren't there? Which one was this? Oh, Color and Cotton. I think that's the one. And this is where I am at the moment. I am going to make changes to this pattern. So I'm taking out a full row of sort of berries. And that was the row that's just on top of this one in the pattern. So I'm leaving that out and then continuing with the one on top of that. So I am making changes. Obviously, you can see that I am changing the colors to the palette that was gifted to me. And that means I just do whatever. Last time I'd stitched this one and I'd stitched this one. And I've taken out the brightest color, Flamingo, because it seemed too neon-y. And I didn't really like it. It's stitched on ivory. So to have a very bright color on there didn't fit. And so I've taken that out. So this is the only, I think this is Coral, one I'm using, and it has a beautiful variegation anyway. So it already gives plenty of depth. And then I still use both my browns, both my blues, and both my greens. But it's just stunning. And because this is very flowery, this border, it will have a lot of coral in. But the ones on top of that will be more blue, grey, and brown. So the balance of the piece, color-wise, will change a bit because now it's very pink, but I think it will balance out nicely. And a lovely stitch, 20 count, 1 strand. Yeah, and just such a kind gift and gives me hours and hours of fun. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? I do sometimes, I don't know how you guys do that, but sorry, the camera was moving there. When you go from one of these little thingies to the other little thingy, do you pull your threads or do you not? I try not to, but in this one I've decided to do that because otherwise I was going crazy because they're such tiny little thingies. And I didn't, I hope you can see something now because I cannot. There you are. So a lovely piece and a lovely pattern. So the fact that I'm taking out a full row is not because I don't like the pattern. It's just because I'm not sure about having enough thread. And it is a row that I feel is slightly different from the rest of the rows. So I think it's okay to take it out. My next one is by Crocette Gogo, and I love this one. It's Autumn Leaf. And I decided not to take this one with me because taking a piece with you in a basically on my bicycle somewhere stashed away in a bag is not necessarily good for the fabric or for anything. So this is too pretty a piece to take with me, and it's also 20 count, so that does require me to focus. and to be able to see it properly. But I have done a good amount. So last time I stitched the pumpkin stand, I now stitched the little juice section, the acorn basket, and this is on the side of the house. There will be a big house here. So this is the side of the house, and then I made the bunting complete. And that's that one. I love this piece. I love it. It's so cute. There's all these little details everywhere, and it's just so cute. I look forward to the house as well. Be a nice addition. It's all tiny, and it's very full. It's a full pattern, but it's absolutely lovely. Very, very pretty. It does take a lot of color changes, this one, but that's okay with me. And I really enjoy writing these words on there. It's so much fun. It just comes to life when you do that. So yeah, really enjoying it. The color of this piece I'm not sure about. It's one that I bought from het Garenhuis in België, in Belgium. And they didn't have a name on there. There is, I went to a fair in Gistel, Belgium, last year in November. And I just saw on Facebook that fair is coming back in November. So I might go again, because I really enjoyed it then. And I think het Garenhuis is there as well. I'm pretty sure they are. Can you see something? I'll peek around. Isn't that lovely? I'm still happy with the change I made from blank to B5200, because the white just pops better like this. But isn't that, it's very full and very cute. Yeah, I'm really loving it. So I'm happy with that one. One of my favorite whips at the moment. Then we have my landmarks. Every time I try to have one additional landmark on there. And this time I did one from Canada. And I think it's Peggy's Cove or Peggy something. Something Peggy in Canada. And there you are. That's the one. It's a lighthouse. And now this is what we have. We have 23 of these pieces, all stitched and done. I really liked the sky of Peggy. You can see the sky is different for each piece. And some are similar, but I really like the one that she used for Peggy's Cove. I'm going to go with the little clouds. And this is stitched on 18 count, and it is stitched with all the called for DMC flosses. And I have plenty more to go. The next one will be more green, so I want one with a lot of green there. So I've seen quite a few. I'm contemplating which one it will be. But yeah, I think it needs a bit more green up there now. But I'd like the dark one as well. I like the dark one more now that there's a normal one next to it again. It sort of falls into it now nicely. So yeah, I really enjoyed stitching this one. Really enjoyed it. It's really pretty. Still happy I washed it. For those of you who didn't watch last time, I washed it. And I was scared, but I did it, and I'm very happy about that. I can only recommend it. I wouldn't do it on any stitch just like that, but this one I have so often in my hands, and it's just, yeah, it just needed a wash. Then my last progress is Moon Deer. And I love Moon Deer, and I'm sorry, I have threads hanging from it. I normally try to avoid that, But just before I went on holiday, I stitched on this piece and I left it like this. And I am so in love with this piece, I cannot tell you. Let me see if I can do it like this. This is stitched on a 20 count ivory Aida, and I stitched this with Weeks Dye Works floss. I use 1 strand of floss. And this is where I am. A little over halfway, I think, now. I have finished the antlers of the deer on this side, so I had quite a bit to go there still. And then I moved back over to here, and I continued with the border thingy here, and then I stitched that majestic bird and started on the moon and then the sort of amulet thing that is going to hang from it. But that bird, I was loving it when I was stitching that. It is with all the color. I thought it was just green. I thought it was a green bird, but it's not. It has green in the middle, and then it sort of tapers out into the brown that I use, the driftwood, and then it ends with the whiskey, so with the yellow. So I'll see if I can show you close up. There you go. I hope you can see that. Is it focusing? Yeah, it's coming. So that becomes just a beautiful little bird with all those colors. I am really loving that. And this stitch is just loving it. I could stitch on this all day, every day. And then it'll be finished. It'll be finished before I know it anyway. It's going so quickly now. Yeah, that bird is beautiful. And I really like the fabric choice. I remember when I was picking the color and I didn't know that I was going to go for regular white or for this ivory. I'd never stitched on ivory before, but I love ivory. I think it gives it a very classy look, and I'm very happy with it. Obviously, I still have quite a bit to go. We're not there yet. Yeah, it felt like I had really good progress on this. And I will finish that amulet probably this weekend and then stitch the other bird on the other side. Yeah, loving it. Loving it. Gorgeous piece. So if anyone is looking for a piece to stitch and you don't know what to stitch, pick this one. It's from Owl Forest Embroidery. And they have accompanying pieces that, well, I'm not sure if they call it an accompanying piece, but they're very similar. I think one with dragons or something, one with, don't remember. But they are similarly set up, but with different colors and a different animal, usually. And that's all my progress, and I think that's quite a bit, because I had quite a bit of finishes, new starts. It's just too tempting to start something. And now I'm going to take you through all the things I found in secondhand shops, and I'm pretty sure you will understand if I want to start even more. So we'll see. I'm just going to pause it for a second and then I'll be back. I'm back and ready for my stuff. I went to, the first thing I did was go to Winterswijk. That is a lovely little town close to the German border, but still in the Netherlands. And they have a lovely little center. And I found a cross-stitch shop. Well, it was basically everything. They had sewing as well, but they also had quite a big section of cross-stitch. And I barely bought anything because it was a lot of kits and quite a lot of it was quite dated. So I decided not to buy anything. I did get this piece of Aida fabric from DMC, light blue. And this is an 18 count and this was half price. So that was a good deal. So I got that one. And I like DMC fabric. I don't hear it very often. Usually people use Zweigart or something like that. But I really like the DMC versions. Then I also found some gold threads, and I have ordered some patterns from Renato Perolin. No idea if I say that right, probably not. And they take a while to get here because I think she's on holiday, so it'll take a little bit. But I might use some of this gold, very fine thread. It doesn't have a name on it, so I don't know what is the fabric, what is the company. But sorry, I'm trying to find something to show it to you on. It's very fine, and I can use it together with a DMC strand. So I thought I would get 2 of those for my Christmas stitching. And again, the Renato Perolin patterns are tiny Christmas patterns. So I can use those for pillow making and stuff like that. And I love that Christmas is coming in. My sister and I went to Intratuin yesterday, which is a shop in the Netherlands where there's a lot of Christmas stuff around Christmas time. So it was perfect. It was absolutely lovely. Anyway, then I went to a second-hand shop in Aalten. And I'd also been to the ones in Zierikzee, and I didn't find anything there. So I went to Aalten on my last day because I wanted a quiet day, and I thought I'll go there. First of all, a great second-hand shop. They had a lot of great stuff there. And obviously, because I live quite far away, I have to take about 4 hours by train. Most of it I couldn't take with me. Again, I was on my bicycle, so my bicycle in the train, I couldn't take too much stuff. It had to fit in the bags. So I had to leave a lot of stuff behind. But I found a lot of cross-stitch stuff there. So I decided to buy quite a bit of it. And quite a lot of it was floss. So the first thing I found was these Madeira flosses. I've never stitched with Madeira. There's a yellow, 2 of the blue, 1.5 really, another yellow, a little bit of dark blue, but not very much, and some green. And I was very happy to have found those because especially those greens and blues are very, very pretty. So I will use those at some point. They're very pretty. So I was happy to find this, and I think this was about 50 cents altogether, these Madeira flosses. So, you know, it's not going to hurt me, is it? Then I found a little kit that I won't stitch, but it did have these flosses in. And this is anchor thread, but it is very pretty. And for 50 cents, this is a good amount of thread that you can use for something Christmassy, because it has all the Christmas colors. So I decided to take this as well. Then I found numerous kits, and most of it are not kits I would ever stitch. They're very dated. Some of it was with one of those printed fabrics where you don't have a pattern, but you just stitch. The pattern is basically on the fabric. And it was very dated and already half stitched. And anyway, I bought it mainly for the floss. So this is quite a lot of DMC. It has the DMC numbers on it. And I can start bobbinating all of this later on today. So this was a good find, I think, with beautiful floss, DMC, and quite a lot of different kinds. And then I found this is also dated, but I don't mind. All DMC, and I have to start bobbinating all of this. This will be quite a bit. And I think was it 6-7 months ago? I found a big stash of this in my local secondhand shop. And that was about 127 bobbins, 10 euros. So that was a good find. Now this won't be 127, but it will be a lot. So maybe I don't know, 50, 60 bobbins, something like that. And all of this together that I've shown you, and I'll show you a bit more in a minute, was $6.50 in total. So barely anything. And this is all lovely floss that can be used for anything. So I was very happy to have found this. And I will, this weekend, put everything on bobbins and put it in my stash. So these are lovely finds. I can get so happy when I find something like this. I'm finding a few more Madeiras. These are completely full still and beautiful colors. I mean, this is a beautiful palette. I could make something with this. Absolutely lovely. So yes, that's more Madeira. And then 2 of the pieces came with Ada fabric. So this one, I think, is a 16 count. It's only a little one. I think it's platinum. So I will use that at some point. It's already been, I don't know how you would call this in English, but it's basically been sewn so it doesn't fray. And then there is a 20 count, and this one has been stitched on. So this is the pattern. Now, I wasn't going to do a giveaway, but maybe one of you would really like to stitch this. So I can give this away. This is a Bambina pattern. It is very cute, but I wouldn't stitch it. It's Thea Gouverneur, and that's quite a well-known designer. And this is Bambina. So if you're interested in this, let's put the word. It has mushrooms on it, so let's put the word mushroom, and then I can send you the pattern. Quite happy with that. So mushroom for the pattern. The fabric, though, I will keep. So someone has already started stitching this, so that will be a really lovely little pillow, really. I might make that into a pillow because that's lovely stitching. But I will use the rest of it. So that's a 20 count Ada. And I think it is off-white. It's perfect. I would use this for anything. So all of that for $6.50. So that was a great find, and I was very, very happy to walk into that. And then, oh, this one as well. I'm forgetting stuff. I'm not sure I want to make anything. These are Creatief met Kruissteek, and you'll see them in a lot of Dutch secondhand shops. And I haven't bought many of these yet, because often it's a bit dated again. But this one had quite a few very pretty flower pieces, and it had this bag. And I thought if I make this bag on a different color, I would quite like, it's a purse really. It's an avondtas, so it's a purse. I thought that would be very pretty. And so that's why I bought it. It has a very similar look as my pastoral that I didn't work on. I know one of you started it as well. It's beautiful, but I have so much to stitch. And so this one has several flower pieces. There was one other one that I thought I would enjoy. Let me see, where is it? It has all the patterns in the middle of this one. So this would be for a placemat, for a I don't know what you call that. My English isn't great today. I'm a bit tired. But that is pretty, and I love the flowers, and you all know that I love my flowers, so there you go. So that one as well. Then I went to my sister. My sister lives in Almere, and that's in the center of the Netherlands. So I went home via my sister, and so we had dinner last night and everything. It's lovely. And we went to a secondhand shop in Almere, and my sister got a lot of movies. And and my sister has a finish. So I'll show you my sister's finish on the screen. She sent me a picture this morning. It's an art mini, one from Van Gogh, and it's very pretty. So well done to my sister. It's lovely. She's quite a novice stitcher, so I think it's great that she's done an art mini because they're not easy. They're not easy stitching. Anyway, that aside, we went to a secondhand shop in Almere, and I found for 50 cents a piece 6 magazines on stitching. So these have a lot of patterns in, and sometimes there are pieces in here that I wouldn't stitch necessarily. There were even more than these 6, but these were the 6 I found pieces in that I would stitch. And this is the first one. I love this one. This is a table runner, and this is by Rico Design. I think this is stunning. It's very autumny again. I think it's beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So I might stitch that one. And then there are quite a few big ones in this one as well. Then they have this, also quite a big one. And I might stitch the little tree pieces into pillows. So there's 4 around it, so this little one and that little one. So you could stitch that into pillows. I thought that would be quite nice. It's an autumn sampler. Very pretty. The next one, let me just see if I can find my favorite pieces quickly to show you. Because all of these have patterns where I say, oh, that's lovely. There was one my mum said she would like to stitch, but I would like to stitch that one too, so I might have to copy that one so we can both stitch it. And it would be nice if she would stitch it in different colors. I think that would be nice, and then see how it comes out. This one is quite nice. This is a beach sampler. I think that's nice. I like the colors on this one as well. Very pretty. And then this is some of my favorites. So this is pillows, and they've done it in white, so it's very, and then the other one in black. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful patterns. So yeah, I'll probably make one of these at some point as well. And running into this, again, feels like, what's happening? And there you go. That's also lovely. You know, I love my flowers. So that is, and this, the little squares would be nice for pillows or for cards. I could make cards with that as well. So who knows what I might be doing. And then this one had, that one. This one had a Christmas stocking in that I really wanted to make. I'd already tried to look that one up, wondering where is it? Where can I find that one? This one, a lot of you might like. It's a red sampler. Very pretty. I'm not really a red sampler stitcher, but I know a lot of you do. Where is it? I like this one as well. Flowers. I think that's very pretty. The anemone. No idea what that is in English, if I'm honest. I never had cause to say that. Where is the stocking? I want to stitch. And my sister discovered the Lindner. Don't know if you all know that. That's German again. And they have very cute patterns. I've never stitched anything from them. But a lot of these magazines have something of them in here. And my sister was like, oh, I really like that. Oh, and this one, my mum and I both want to do. because this is stunning, isn't it? And I love the colors as well. So I think this might be one of the first ones I will stitch. And I think they've used DMC multicolor threads for this. It's very pretty. It's made by Joke Trebedenijs. Very pretty indeed. I love that. And then this one. I like this one as well. This is isn't that pretty? I would use different colors for this one, but that's all right. And I'm not sure I would stitch the top two birds there. I might want to just make it a band sampler, but that's beautiful. But again, I would use different colors, but that's okay. I've got so many pretty colors in my stash. I'll just pick whatever I want and stitch that. Now I cannot find the stocking. It is a stocking of a deer. And it's very green and brown, and it's just very, very pretty. And when I saw that one, I said to my sister, I don't think it's in here, but I really want it to be in here. And then I found it. I found it in the patterns, and I thought, oh, that's great. But I can't find it, so I'll show you that another time. I'll probably start it at some point, not this year, and I won't finish it for Christmas because I've got too much to do. Right, last but not least, this was this morning. I came home from my holiday and after having dinner with my sister last night, and I traveled early this morning. I think I left at about 6:45 or something. So I arrived home at 11 and I found a package on my doorstep, and it was from Terry. Terry is one of the viewers, and she's been, I think, viewing my channel since I started. Thank you very much for that, Terry. And she's in Australia, and she has sent me a package. Now, several of you have sent me stitchy kindness, and it is so overwhelming and lovely when someone does that. There is no need for it. So if you're watching this, do not feel pressured into having to give me something. But for those people who do send me something, it is so much appreciated, and it's so kind for you to, first of all, think of me and do something like this, and for me to now be able to enjoy all this stuff. So thank you very much. I got a lovely card of a beautiful flower. You all know I love my flowers, so this card is perfect. And this package is from Australia. And what I love most about this community and things like this is that I can receive pieces and stuff that is from the other side of the world, and that is from other countries, because it's so different, the kind of stuff we have and the stuff we can use for our stitching. Like I said, the Vervaco kit, the Autumny kit, a lot of you won't be able to get that anywhere else because it's not sold anywhere else. Anyway, Terry, you have really gone too far on your gifting. But thank you very much. And I might give some of it away. She did say I could give some of it away. I haven't decided on that yet because I've only received it this morning. So I will just show you what she gave me. She gave me 2 Mill Hill kits, which is absolutely lovely. I've never made a Mill Hill kit, and I would love to try one. So now I can. And the best part about this, I think, is the colors of the threads. It is such a soft color palette. It's absolutely beautiful for both of them. Absolutely stunning. And then the beads are in the paper. Now the paper I'm not sure about because I stitch in hand, and I don't know if I can stitch this properly in hand. So we'll see. Maybe I'll go on regular fabric, but thank you very much for that. And it's very Christmassy. Then she sent me this one, and I will definitely, most definitely stitch this. I think this is stunning. Anjou pears. Don't know what that means. And it is from Annie B's Folk Art. Now I think this is absolutely lovely, especially the first pair. Beautiful. I will definitely stitch that one. And she also sent me some floss and fireplace by Cottage Garden threads. Might be perfect for these little pairs. So I might want to use that one. It's a beautiful autumn piece. I love that thread. I think it's stunning. So that might be nice. Might be nice to go together. So that's lovely. Then she sent me 2 other threads by Cottage Garden threads. Beautiful blue and a beautiful yellow. They are very stunning. I think I have one more that was gifted to me by Inge. And so I can put them all together. They're very pretty colours. Then she sent me a lot of dinky dies. This I've never seen in the Netherlands. They have a different look than the Cottage Garden, but they are very pretty too. And again, you really didn't have to send me all of this, you know. I am easily pleased when it comes to stitching. You could have gone to a secondhand shop and just find me some old threads. I'd be quite happy with that. But this is beautiful. Beautiful. Plenty of colors. Beautiful colors. Some are multicolored, some are regular. Very pretty. Very pretty. A lovely needle minder of a teacup. And this is from Inchworm Designs on Etsy. So if any of you would be interested, it's from Inchworm Designs on Etsy. And this is perfect. This is a perfect piece. I will use this. I love that one. Then Doreen Jones. I have stitched a piece from Doreen Jones, actually several pieces from Doreen Jones, because I really like her designs. And this is a Tea Makes Everything Better. Now, isn't that suitable for me with all my tea? That's a beautiful pattern. And I think if I would stitch it, I would just stitch the tea and the flowers and leave the words out, I think. But that is lovely. And I think Doreen Jones is someone who has so many lovely pieces out. And then a lovely piece of fabric. Now, it's very different fabric than I have used previously, but it is very pretty. It's very, I think this would do very good on a soda stitch piece. But this is a 16 count Gala, G-A-L-A-H, and it is from Serital, Australia. Serital, no idea how to say that, Australia. And that is very pretty. It's sort of blue, pinkish. So I have no idea what to do with that yet, but I will figure it out. And so yeah, this is so kind, Terry, and you didn't have to. But yeah, it's just very kind. Thank you. So that was all my stuff, my stitching, my progress, my shopping, my holiday, a giveaway after all, the mushroom. If you would like to stitch this piece, I can send you the pattern. Leave mushroom in your description, in the description box. If you've liked what you've seen, then please leave me a like or a comment or subscribe to my channel or do all 3. You are very welcome to come back as well. I post about every 3 weeks. I do have a plan to film a Stitch with me in the upcoming 2 weeks, so that will be coming up. Now I will number those videos, but they will be numbered. They will always have the name Stitch with me. So just, if that's in the name and it's not your thing, then feel free not to click on it. But yeah, it will be. I won't call it an extra or something. Right, and that's that. I will now get to editing and put all the pictures in there, and I hope that it will turn out okay. And I thank you very much for watching and hope to see you again next time. Thank you.